everybody. You feel me? Welcome to my Twitch, man. Hey Roof 456, man. You feel me? Y'all can, pull up on my YouTube. You feel me? Hey Roof Study Hall. You know how we rocking. You feel me? I'll be having to figure out different ways to start my introductions because Twitch is like when you stream, it's different. I feel like I gotta set a schedule. I really do gotta set a schedule though, so people can know when to come. But it's all good. So it's 3:07. I'm gonna try to shoot for 3 p.m. the next time I go live. And with that being said, man, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this presentation and I'm gonna download it and then I'm gonna send it to my YouTube. So if anybody, whoever don't catch it live, don't even worry about it. I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube. And also too, I'm gonna save it to my videos on here. So if you miss it, you can watch it on here and on YouTube. So if y'all could, man, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed the video, today we're gonna be dealing with the occult history of Hollywood, man. You feel me? Because the 2025, according to this Gregorian calendar, I think it's important to be consciously aware of the occult history of Hollywood. You feel me? That's just a fact. Like we got to stop blindly watching stuff. And for the example, I'm going to use the movie The Wizard of Oz, and I'm gonna give a metaphysical breakdown to that movie that may have flew over people's heads. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, make sure y'all can see my screen. All right, now I'm gonna come off. Let me see. I'm gonna be on the bottom. Hopefully, if y'all can't see the words, I'll come off the camera. But we finna go slide for slide, y'all. Let's get it. Now, occult researcher and leading authority on esoteric symbolism, Jordan Maxwell describes the making of Hollywood as such, and I paraphrase: the name Hollywood comes from the ancient mythology of Merlin the wizard. Okay, go look it up. Ancient mythology. Look up Merlin the wizard. Merlin. Go look it up. Merlin used the wand made out of Hollywood from the holly tree. Legend has it that this wood contained magical powers that could be used to cast spells on its unsuspecting victims. Okay? Keep that in mind. This wand would be used by Merlin to manipulate behavior and control anyone who it was used upon. Please listen to everything I'm saying, y'all. This is serious. The film industry in Hollywood uses its power, influence, and resources to manipulate and control its unsuspecting audiences. Hollywood is used as the primary tool of this elite, secret, and select class to keep the masses asleep, disoriented, confused, and oblivious to the fact that they are nothing more than sheep that are being led to slaughter by the institutions that enslave them without them even knowing they are slaves. Period. 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 That's true. You feel me? And television, television. You feel me? Just look up transcranial magnetic stimulation. All these devices that we're using, these phones, these computers, these TVs, all this stuff has an effect on our brain. You know what I'm saying? So and these people know this. So let's keep it pushing, man. I got like 41 slides left. Jordan Maxwell points out other myths of this mysterious Hollywood that was derived from European mythology throughout their history, which is going to be shown on the next slide. As you can see, that's Jordan Maxwell giving a lecture. And look up Jordan Maxwell. I don't got none of his books, but I know they good though. He break down a lot of stuff. You feel me? And just look him up on TikTok. You know what I could do, depending on if I'm still on after I do the presentation. I'm gonna go on TikTok and I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up some of his videos. Because I think I know I saved some of them to my favorites. But that's Merlin. Y'all can look up Merlin the magician or the wizard. I mean, do you see the that's the holly? See that? That's made of holly. That's from the holly tree right there. Let's keep it pushing. The Celts of the British Isles, right? So we dealing with the historical or the history, the occultic history of Hollywood. Now, if you look up the Celts of the British Isles, right? It says the Celts of the British Isles in Gaul believed the Holly King ruled over death. The Holly King was a warlike giant who bore a great wooden club made of a thick holly branch. I'm gonna underline that no, I'm gonna underline it because I already got it. Oops, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna underline that holly branch. Okay. Now this is a Japan. They even took it to Japan. People in Japan was using it, using Hollywood. Look, Japanese legend Prince Yamato. Y'all could look that up. One of the greatest of the doomed heroes of history and myth, was said to have done battle with a spear And the handle of, excuse me, with the spear handle. I think there's a typo. Hold on, let me delete this. I don't see why I would put the. With the spear handle of which was made of holly wood, a symbol of divine authority. Now keep that in mind. A symbol of divine authority. Okay. Now the Yule tree, which y'all know what a Yule tree is. If you don't know, we're gonna read this real quick. The Yule tree, or the holy tree, or the holly tree, recognized recognized in modern times as the Christmas tree, is an ancient symbol of life, fertility, and vitality. See, see. Let's keep it pushing. Let me move this over here. Holly is one of the trees said to be the tree of Christ's cross, right? Legend tells us that the trees of the forest refused the defilement of the cross, splintering into tiny fragments at the touch of the axe. Only the holly behaved like an ordinary tree, allowing itself to be cut and formed into a cross. It is it is as a passion symbol that holly is found in pictures of various saints. Its presence indicates that the saint is either reflecting upon Christ's passion or foretelling it. Okay, let's keep it moving. In Germany, holly is called Christus Dorn. Hope I got that right. In memory of Christ's crown of thorns. According to legend, the holly's branches were woven into a painful crown and placed on Christ's head while the soldiers mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews." Okay, a lot of people probably didn't even know that. A lot of people probably didn't even know that. So it was holly branches that were woven into a painful crown. Feel me? Let's keep it pushing. While many other plants and other weeds, such as a mistletoe, have been deliberately or ignorantly raised up as having ancient significance to our ancestors, no other plant or more universally sacred, more universally mysterious than the holly tree or the holly. It's finna get watch. It's finna get real. The wizard with the magic wand used to excuse me. The wizard with the magic wand used to cast magic spells on his unsuspecting victims. Notice the modern version of the same magician using the same hat and magic wand made out of the mystical Hollywood to perform his magic. Now peep the next slide, right? The music orchestras. Look, even in the music orchestra, they do the same thing. The orchestra conductor also manipulates and controls the musicians playing their instruments by using his wand or Hollywood. See, I never peeped that until I started reading books and looking into metaphysics and came across Jordan Maxwell. You feel me? So so just to sum it all up, according to Jordan Maxwell's research on the mythology of the holly tree, it has been represented as such, right? A. A superior warlike weapon having divine authority. B. Represents vitality and fertility. C. Higher consciousness and knowledge. D. Used to ridicule or mock. E. Used to crucify or condemn. F. Maintains mysterious powers. So it's people that use this to crucify or condemn. Some people use it to ridicule or mock. Some people use it for higher consciousness and knowledge. And some people use it for war. And it represents many different things. You see what I'm saying? All right, let me see where we at. Let me see. Okay. These attributes undeniably describe the essence of the film industry. Holly is being used as a tool or the wand. This wand is implemented by these elite secret and occult societies or the wizards. The wizards rule the world in an effort to control or cast a spell on the unsuspecting masses in order to further their agenda. All this is being done while the masses stay deaf, dumb, and blind to their enslavement. And that's true. That's true. That's true. Look up transcranial magnetic stimulation, man, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And many other things. MK Ultra, all that. But let's keep it pushing. Let me see. Let me check something real quick. Hold on. Let me check and make sure everything's straight. Everything good, man. Let me make sure everything good, y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure everything good. Let me make sure my dang volume don't. Hold on. So, let me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Make sure everything decent. So, about that. And yeah, man, I'm trying to hit 20 followers, man. Hopefully I can get it today or this month or the end of this month. It's the 29th, man. So you feel me? So everything looking good so far. All right, make sure everything. All right, so that's muted. All right, cool. All right, boom. Got that. All right. Now let's get back to the presentation. I just wanted to check. I'll be having to check and make sure everything good. Now, now this is one of the most important slides that I want y'all to really pay attention to. And if you don't catch it live, don't even worry about it. It's all good. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube and I'm gonna save it on here so y'all can watch it from the beginning in case you want to rewind it. Excuse me. The actors who portray the characters in Hollywood productions are called the cast. They are the ones being used to cast the spell on the audiences. The word cast can be defined as to cause to fall upon something or in a certain direction. Send forth. Hollywood also controls television broadcast. You hear me? Broad means to cover a wide scope and area. So broadcast is to cast a spell over a wide area. These broadcasts are called television programs. Television, television, television program. Come on, man. It, and before I even go, let me finish this. Hold on. According to Webster's online dictionary, the word program means, a, for number one, a brief, usually printed outline of the order to be followed, of the features to be presented, and the persons participating, as in a public performance. Now, even just deep game, right? I learned this reading. I think it was Tony Browder book. I think it was from the Browder Files. I think, and it had to have been that book. But he this is where I learned about the word entertainment. Entertainment. Enter means inside. Tain means to grasp. Ment means your mentality or your mind. You feel me? Literally. That's literally what it means. You feel me? So they know what they're doing, and you can't really be mad because they telling you right to your face. So with that being said, let me see. Hold on. Let me check something. Hold on. Before I go to number two, let me make sure everything's straight. Oh, yeah, it's clear. Oh, good, good. It look good. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. Number two, right? A plan or system under which action may be taken toward a goal. What goal? What's their goal? I wonder what that goal is. What's their goal? You feel me? Number three, a plan for the programming of a mechanism. As a computer, your brain is a biological computer. B, a sequence of coded instructions that could be inserted into a mechanism as a computer. C, a sequence of coded instructions as genes or behavioral responses that is part of an organism. Deeper explain on the next slide. Now, this definition sheds light on the secret and hidden agenda of Hollywood. According to these formal definitions, we are being brainwashed and manipulated by Holly programming. See, that's a typo. I'm gonna put. Oops, almost knocked my thing over. Hollywood. My bad. I be having typos. My bad. Programming, broadcast, and movies. Make no mistake about it. There is a hidden agenda behind every media outlet in America, as well as the world. This book, and I'm gonna share the book at the end. This book will reveal the concentrated and coordinated effort of the secret power elite behind. Uh, excuse me. This book will reveal the concentrated and coordinated effort of the secret power elite behind Hollywood's hidden agenda and programming. This book will expose this hidden diabolical plot to enslave the masses through esoteric manipulation and control coordinated by a secret society. I'm gonna underline esoteric because you got eso and you got exoteric. You got exoteric, you got esoteric. You feel me? Period. So let's keep it pushing. Now we finna get it. Now it's finna get real. Well, it's already got real, but it's finna get super real. In Kemet, or what is referred to today as modern day Egypt, our African ancestors used images and symbols in the form of metanetter, or what is called hieroglyphics, today to communicate with each other in their subconscious minds. There was no written word. Exactly, there was no words. Words is sword spelled back with words in English. The English language, even though I'm speaking it, I understand that it's enslaving me because the alphabet, if you just think of the word alpha beta brainwave frequency. So this is why silence is important. This is why you know, or ideograms, or what we would call hieroglyphs, things that activate both hemispheres of the brain. Because a lot of these books that I be reading, it be kind of challenging. Luckily, they be having pictures in it, and I'm able to kind of use my imagination. But it's kind of hard because it's just words, and so it is using mainly my left hemisphere in my brain. So you feel me? My bad. I didn't mean to get to rambling. But metanetter was to me metanetter metanetter when translated literally means God's word. I think I meant to put word. I put word on accident. Our ancestors were so advanced that they knew the best form of communication was on a subconscious level. Now this bullet point is really, 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 really important. These Hollywood executives and all these people that run Hollywood, and we're gonna get into that. They know this. They know this stuff. They know this. That's why they do the stuff that they do. The subconscious level is responsible for controlling over 90% of human behavior. Symbols and images, like Hollywood films, speak directly to a person's subconscious mind. This is where we get the saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." Symbols and images are more powerful than any word that can be spoken. See, that can be spoken. You see what I mean? You see that Jed pillar right there? I'm pretty sure a lot of people can interpret that in their own way. But either way it go, they're using both hemispheres of their brain. You feel me? So let's keep. I'm gonna try to keep it pushing. Slide 17. Whew. Let's keep it pushing. A picture is worth 1,000 words. A symbol is worth 1,000 pictures. Hollywood uses the power of images and symbols in its films to speak directly to our subconscious in an effort to control and manipulate our behavior without us ever even knowing it. Remember, all film is a series of images spliced together and run through a projector at a high rate of speed to make it look like the images are animated and alive. This is a very valuable weapon, and this science has been deliberately kept from the masses because of its power, influence, and diabolical agenda to enslave the masses. The idea that flashing words and images can seep into the subconscious mind and persuade an observer to do something without their awareness came into the public eye in the 1950s. That's when a marketing experiment flashed the message "Drink Coca-Cola" onto a New Jersey movie screen and correlated this to increased Coke sales in that area. The idea behind the crafty technique, by flickering visuals at a speed greater than your eyes and brain can process, and speaking at a slightly lower volume than your ears can hear, allows messages to sneak past your conscious mind and into your subconscious. The word subliminal derives itself from the Latin word sub, meaning below, and limon, meaning threshold, below a person's threshold of awareness. So, question: do subliminal messages really work? I mean, shoot, it's people, and I heard that it's people. I don't know if it's in Mexico, but I heard there's people out there like low key addicted to Coca Cola. They out there drinking it like crazy. This one dude, I found this. They said this youngster drink 2.2 liters a day. I don't drink soda, by the way. Mm-mm. It's a no for me, dog. It is a no for me. It is a no for me, dog. Let me take a quick little break, real quick, y'all. Trying to figure out how to do some of this stuff on here, like add stream marker. What did that mean? Oh, what did I? Well, say one. I don't know what that means. Add stream marker. I don't know what I did, but I just clicked. I just tried something out. So hopefully they do nothing. But let me keep it pushing, y'all. Let me keep it pushing. Hold on. Now check this out. Now this is where it's finna get creepy. This is further evidence of Hollywood's secret agenda to program its audience in an elegant method of mind control and brainwashing the masses. Hollywood was founded by wealthy European Jews, but they do not control Hollywood. We are just led to believe that they are in control. They were the first to establish the film industry by usurping Thomas Edison of his patent on the movie projector. Later, they were coerced and strong-armed into promoting the agendas of the Illuminati, or secret ruling class that runs the world in the shadows. These Jewish founders, such as Louis B. Mayer, how do you say his name? Adolf Zucker, how do you say his name? Karl Lemel, Samuel Goldwyn, William Fox. Keep that name in your mind. William Fox and the Warner Brothers were willing to do anything they had to do to keep their lucrative Hollywood film studios and industries. I never knew that. I just now figured this out. Warner Brothers. I didn't know it was named after them. I just thought it was just named Warner Brothers. I would keep it a buck. I'm just being honest. I didn't know. I didn't know. The hidden power of elites that also control world governments unleashed the witch hunt of, they call it McCarthyism, into the film industry in regards to the so-called infiltration of communists in Hollywood. This communist conspiracy or perceived threat shook the foundation of Hollywood. The Jewish heads of these studios immediately took heed that all that they had built could come tumbling down by means of character assassination and propaganda directly pointed at them, as America's perceived public enemy number one, the communists. Remember, the Jews had the immediate history of persecution by the Nazis, so they were very fearful and vulnerable to the process of being singled out or ostracized. Let's keep it pushing. And in October 1947, hold on, make sure my thing working. All right, we good. In October 1947, a number of persons working in the Hollywood film industry were summoned to appear before the House Committee of Un-American Activities, which had declared its intention to investigate whether communist agents and sympathizers had been sur- 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 surreptitiously planting propaganda in United States films. Swats, I would say his name, Swats, Richard A. 1999. How, and y'all can look this up, how the film and television blacklist work. Florida International University retrieved in 2010, March 3rd. Now, this is a book I do want to go get though. So, you know, when I get the funds, I'm definitely gonna get this book for sure, for sure. Y'all can look this book up. It says it said forbidden animation, censor cartoons, and blacklisted animators in America, called by Carl F. Cohen. So let's keep it pushing, right? The Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, or the MPA, a political action group co-founded by Walt Disney, issued a pamphlet advertising producers on the avoidance of subtle communistic touches in their films. Its council revolved around a list of ideological prohibitions, such as don't smear the free enterprise system, don't smear industrialists, don't smear wealth, don't glorify the collective. Cohen, 2004, page 169 and page 70, 170. Forbidden animation. Y'all can go look at. Y'all go. I'm for sure. When I get the money, I'm buying that book for sure, for sure. Y'all can screenshot that too if y'all wanted to. Let me go back. Y'all can screenshot that if y'all wanted to get that book. So let's keep it pushing, right? We almost finished. The HUAC, the House of Un-American Activities Committee, hearings have failed to turn up any evidence that Hollywood was secretly disseminating communist propaganda, but the industry was nonetheless transformed. The fallout from the iniquity was a factor in the decision by Floyd Odlum, the primary owner of RKO Pictures, to get out of the business. As a result, the studio would pass into the hands of Howard Hughes. Within weeks, within weeks of taking over in May 1948, Hughes fired most of RKO's employees and virtually shut the studio down for half a year, as he had the political sympathies of the rest investigated. Then, just as RKO swung back into production, Hughes made the decision to settle a long-standing federal antitrust suit against the industry's Big Five studios. This would be one of the crucial steps in the collapse of the studio system that had governed Hollywood and ruled much of the world's cinema for a quarter century. Lasky Betty, y'all can look that up. 1989 RKO, uh, the biggest little major of them all, Santa Monica, California Roundtable. I don't think I was able to find that. I'm gonna still look for it. I'm still looking for that. Here we go again. The Jewish Hollywood moguls were all but willing to do whatever they had to do in an effort to blend in with the American culture to be accepted and at the same time keep their lucrative Hollywood empire. With the ruling class secretly pulling the strings and with the support of the US government, these Jewish puppets were more than eager to serve the agenda of their masters. These Jews became very wealthy in the process and were allowed to use a percentage of films to promote their Zionist agenda and propaganda as well. There are only 6 Hollywood film production studios that control which films are made and which ones are not. In order for any film to be made, one must go through one of these studios in order to put out and distribute a film. Wow, that's crazy. Excuse me. Check this out, right? If they agree to let your film be made, they will be they will be in charge of the overall production of the film. They will have complete control and autonomy of the film. This is why we seem to have the same themes in movies being played over and over again. Hollywood has its own agenda they want to promote. It has nothing to do with the integrity or artistic value of the art of film. Mm-mm-mm. Now check this out, right? Hollywood's a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss and 50 cents for your soul. Dang. I know because I turned down the first offer often enough and held out for the 50 cents. Mm, dang. That's deep. Let's keep it pushing because I'm trying to, let me see. Y'all got a long way to go, y'all. Got a long way to go. We'll go all the way to 44. We finna get to 44, man. Trying to get some more. Let's get it. Movies are an integral part of the fabric of our society. Movies have historically done well for themselves, especially in times of financial hardship or turmoil. During the Depression and times of recession, movie profits and attendance always seem to be at their higher or highest. Let me see, that's typo. Ain't that something? During the recessions and all that, the Great Depression, they was making all that money. That's crazy. One can relate this phenomenon to the fact that the general population wants to escape their own dreary and mundane reality by attending a movie that is going to always have the hero overcome the villain. They relate to the disenfranchised overcoming. Got clip for 10. Uh oh. Damn. They relate to the disenfranchised overcoming their hardships. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. It's all good. I'm talking to my. I'm streaming on like two things right now. Let's see. Hold on. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? I got that. Here we go. They want to defeat another typo. Look at this. All the odds and overcome adversity to achieve their dreams. These images and scenarios are what keep the masses from rebelling. See? That's crazy. It get real, man. It get real. Hold on, let me see. Let me check something. Let me make sure everything good over here. All right, we good. We good over here? All right, bet. Just making sure. Just making sure. Hold on. No, and I'm still learning how to stream on Twitch. I want to learn how to do it to where how other people on Twitch do it, where they have like they chat on the side. I gotta learn how to do that OBS and that Streamlab stuff, but I need help. I'm gonna figure it out though, one way or another. Let's keep it pushing though, y'all. I gotta hurry up. Just like playing the lottery, we all believe we can beat the odds and strike it rich. Sometimes all a person really needs is hope. It's what keeps us getting out of bed every day to go to work at a job that we hate and can't even seem to get ahead. Hollywood represents the carrot, which is hope, held in front of the horse, the people that keeps the cart or the diabolical system moving forward. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me check something. Damn. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Let me mute my thing real quick. I gotta go on mute real quick, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. I had to relay a message to somebody. Now let's keep it. I'm gonna read it again. Let me read it one more time. Just like playing the lottery, we all believe we could beat the odds and strike it rich. Sometimes all a person really needs is hope. It's what keeps us getting out of bed every day to go to work at a job that we hate and can't even seem to get ahead. Hollywood represents the carrot, which is hope, as you can see right there, held in front of the horse, which is right there. You feel me? Or yeah, or the mule, whatever you riding on, which is symbolic to the people that keeps the cart, which is the diabolical system, aka the matrix, moving forward. We internalize that we are Cinderella, we are Rocky Balboa, we are Bambi, we are Clark Kent, we are Peter Parker, we are Snow White, we are the little engine that could. But in reality, we are all gullible fools. For every one of us that lives the so-called American dream, hundreds of thousands are the victims of the American nightmare. We can't all hit the lottery at the same time. There must be millions of losers for the system to function and reward the one winner. But the system only shows us the winner and not the millions of losers who sacrifice everything for a chance to strike it rich. This is how the system flourishes. The illusion that the American dream can be achieved by all is the cruelest and biggest scam America has ever played on the rest of the world, and Hollywood serves it up for us to consume on a silver platter. Ain't that some stuff? Now I'm gonna take. Let me. Now I gotta take a break on that. I gotta take a break on that, man. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Let's keep it pushing. Now we're gonna talk about tinsel. Check this out. What is tinsel? Tinsel. Tinsel. I never even heard of this. Really, keep it a buck. But I've seen it. You know, during the holidays. But it says something sparkling. Yeah, I put sparking. I meant to put sparkling. Something sparkling or snowy, but basically valueless, attracting attention to in a vulgar manner to give a false sparkle to, superficial, a sham, shameful, or indecent. And then look, you got Tinseltown, right? As you can see, a flashy, vulgar tone or atmosphere believed to be characteristic of the American film industry. Now, this George Orwell said this. Whoever controls the image and information of the past will determine what and how future generations will think. And whoever controls the information and images of the present will also determine how these same people will view the past. Man, listen, get y'all butt on Amazon, man. Y'all go and get in your library, man. You feel me? Get some books. I'm saying, you better invest in some literature, man. Cause it's getting real. You feel me? It's definitely getting real out here. You feel me? It's definitely getting real out here, man. You feel me? I mean, all right. Now we're gonna do a recap real quick, and then we finna get into the Wizard of Oz. We finna really get deep into that movie. I'm gonna share a metaphysical breakdown of that movie. All right. I'm just trying to keep an eye on my phone because I got something I'm waiting on. So now here's some recap. Right. The Zionist Jews usurped the motion picture projector invented by Thomas Edison in an attempt to control the newly found motion picture industry. They moved to Southern California and set up their elaborate movie studios in what used to be an area exclusively for orange grove trees and farms. It was later named Hollywood by the Illuminati. In order to strong arm the Jewish movie industry and studio owners, the Illuminati, through politics and more particularly Congress, set up special hearings targeting these Jews for being communists. Being labeled a communist at this time was like being labeled a terrorist today and had devastating implications. And again, WB, I used to watch. I forgot what that. It used to come on every Saturday, like and the Maniacs, Pinky and the Brain. What else used to come on that channel? I forgot. Wayne Head. It was some cool shows on. I ain't gonna front. I think Wayne Head. I know Wayne Head was on there for sure. That was a cool little, But yeah, though. I never thought about that. Like WB Warner Brothers. I didn't think it was some actual brothers or some actual. You feel me? I just thought that was just a name they just picked. I never even looked into it like that. But I was young. We live, we learn. But let's keep it pushing. I'm almost finished, y'all. We got like 10 more slides to go. This Jewish witch hunt was labeled McCarthyism in order to keep their movie empire and riches. The Jewish movie studio owners did whatever the Illuminati wanted them to do. They were given an ultimatum: either go along with the Illuminati and give them full control over the subliminal message and brainwashing in their movies and keep their studios and all their riches, or don't go along with them, be labeled a communist, lose everything, and be thrown in jail and be disgraced for the rest of their lives. Of course, the Zionist Jews agreed, and the Illuminati took control over the Hollywood movie industry. Their first major project was the release of The Wizard of Oz in 1939. That's crazy. That was actually one of my that was actually one of my favorite movies too. My bad, I just had to respond to this message real quick. But again, The Wizard of Oz, 1993. I mean 1939. They did The Wizard of Oz and they did The Wiz. You feel me? They had to add some melanin. They had to add some melanin to it. They had to add some melanin to it. Ain't that something? But check this out though, because this blew my mind when I first read this. Let's break down this historic movie, which set the tone for how Hollywood will be used as a major tool to suppress, influence, and manipulate the masses without them even knowing it. The Wizard of Oz takes place in Middle America. Keep look, peep game. In Middle America in the state of Kansas, or the Heartland. It also is shaped as a square whose sides total 360 degrees of knowledge in the occult. So the Illuminati wants to hit the heart of America to install its science and knowledge to manipulate and control the masses. Mm-mm-mm. All right, I think and then probably gonna get an invite soon. I'm doing these peak performance things on my Bigo. But yeah, you peep that though, and it's right in the smack dab in the middle, in the what you would call the heartland. Ain't that something? They didn't do that. It wasn't by accident. That wasn't by no coincidence, man. Period. Look what it says: bail out of order, please not. And if anybody know anything about bells, then y'all know. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. I'm talking to. That's crazy. I'm talking to the wrong screen. If you know, you know. My bad, y'all. I'm over here on this dang phone. But if you know, you know about them bells and what type of beings it disrupts. You feel me? That's all I'm gonna say. But let's keep it pushing. The movie starts off in black and white, right? As you can see right here. The Wizard of Oz was the first. Wait a minute. The Wizard of Oz was the first to be used in color. Question mark. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was. The beginning of the movie in black and white signifies that Dorothy has no knowledge of herself or the world she lives in. She is a slave and doesn't even know it. Her worldview is limited to the two basic colors of black and white with no gray areas or knowledge in between. Hold on real quick. Give me 1 second. Me my mic real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. Multitasking at its finest, y'all. My bad, my bad. But peep that though. I think it was the first movie to have color in it. If I'm not mistaken, or use color. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But look, check this out. When Dorothy is transported to the land of Oz, she immediately sees things in vibrant colors in illumination. This symbolizes Dorothy's intuition into higher consciousness. She is now waking up to the knowledge of self and her environment, and is up to the knowledge of self and her environment, and is discovering that the world she used to live in was really her dream, and this new world is her reality. See, I remember that tripped me out when I first seen that movie when he kind of had the colors and stuff. But look, check now, peep now. Please, I hope y'all really pay attention to this part. This blew my mind. Let me check something before I even go to it. So make sure I don't know if anybody else was in the chat. But check this out, right? A lot of people probably didn't even peep this. Even my Kemetic or people that be studying Egypt or Kemet or Africa might not have known the symbolism of this right here. What? Check this out. Dorothy's only companion through this shift in consciousness was her faithful black dog named Toto. Now check this out. Toto represents the ancient Egyptian god Anpu. Anpu represents our intuition that dwells in our higher self. He guides us in the spiritual realm, the world we can't see, touch, taste, hear, or smell. For us to utilize our intuitive higher state, we must raise our consciousness and follow our hearts and not be fooled by what seems logical in the physical realm. And watch when you get to the end though. I didn't even peep the end of the movie though, but watch, but peep game though. I'm gonna wait till we get to the end though. But it says, look, this is why Dorothy must follow the yellow brick road in order to find her true self and get back home or her higher self. The road made of gold bricks is Dorothy overcoming her fears and lower self in an effort to stay on the path her heart has laid out for her. Now peep, I want y'all to peep the yellow brick road, you feel me? You gotta peep that. Peep game. The road is treacherous at times and very scary, but Dorothy stays steadfast, overcomes her fears, and stays the course. This is what this is what every individual must do in an effort to meet their true or higher spiritual self. All right, now check this out, right? Now I gotta take a break because like it's finna get deep. It's finna get deep. All right, it's finna get real. Y'all go, I'm finna stretch real quick. You feel me? It's finna get real, and we finna go through all the characters. Well, the main ones I want to say. Like we're gonna watch this. But look, out of all the characters, the first character Dorothy meets is the Scarecrow. Just peep game. Watch this. The first character Dorothy meets on her journey to find her higher self is the Scarecrow. So peep game. In legal terms, on all legal documents, your name is in all capital letters. This is called your straw man. It is on your driver's license, mortgage, court, and legal documents and credit cards. Your straw man represents you as a volunteer slave to a system that thinks of you in terms of your earning power and potential to make money off of you over your lifetime. You are bonded to a lifetime of slavery and don't even know it. From the day they issue your birth certificate until the day they issue you a death certificate, you are considered nothing but chattel to your secret slave owners. This is why Dorothy meets her straw man first. This is why the Scarecrow is searching for a brain because he has no knowledge of the legal system that enslaves him. He is ignorant and dumb to the fact that he is far from free and has been a slave all his life. See, this is watching them. See, am I saying stop watching movies? Heck no. But watching and kind of try to develop a metaphysical perspective on movies. And also, I might, depending on how much energy I got left after I finish this, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna break down the Matrix. I'm gonna break down all the characters, and I might even have some slides for y'all while I can break down some of the scenes in the movie, just so y'all can just to give you an example of certain things to look out for. But you see, her right hand is on his left shoulder. All that means something. They might not have did it on purpose, but to me it means something. Like his left side of his body. is governed by the right hemisphere of his brain, which is his spiritual self, or his spiritual self, or his higher self, or his feminine intuitive side of the brain. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me keep it pushing. Let me see. Hold on. Now, we see the next character Dorothy meets on the way to following her heart in search of meeting her higher self is the Tin Man. Peep game. The Tin Man is cold and made of metal. The Tin Man has no feelings and chops down living trees, not knowing the damage to the world he inflicts. He does not know his lifestyle is predicated upon the death and destruction of the world that is kept from him. He is logical, cold, and calculating. He only sees the world in terms of his lower self, the world where you only acknowledge that which you can only see, touch, taste, hear, and smell. He is a paid employee whose only goal is to pay rent, feed his family, obtain shelter, transportation, and clothing. He is motivated by self survival, which is the lowest level of consciousness one can descend to. This is why the Tin Man is in search of a heart. He has never really acknowledged it, let alone listened to it or followed it. He has always been concerned and preoccupied with greed and his own self survival. Following your heart means giving up those things that make us feel safe and stepping out on faith and overcoming our fears. The heart is the first level of higher consciousness. And I said that many, many times. I forgot what video I did, but it is the gateway to your higher self, though, period. Once you unlock that, then you start to express it. And once you start to express it, then you start to, you feel me, unlock many other things. You feel me? So with that being said, now we finna keep it pushing. We got like three more slides left. And then I'm gonna share a little sneak peek. I ain't gonna show too much. I may be able to give y'all like a breakdown of the characters of the Matrix, and I may share like a quick scene breakdown with y'all just to give y'all an example of certain things to look for when y'all watch these movies. Now, the next character Dorothy meets on her way to discover her higher self and be free is the Cowardly Lion. The Cowardly Lion doesn't know his own strength. He doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't step out of his comfort zone when he is confronted with adversity. He is a coward through and through, even when other people could see the strength within him. The Cowardly Lion represents Dorothy's fragile psyche. She has been conditioned to live and be motivated by fear as a means of control and manipulation by the that powers that be. Since she doesn't know her own strength, her higher self, she doesn't question authority and will always fall in line with the status quo represented to her as her reality. That's a typo. Let me fix this real quick. She will never rise up and fight for a freedom she doesn't know she never had in the first place. In Dorothy's journey to following her heart, she is going to need the courage and bravery housed in her higher self that she never knew she had in the first place. In Dorothy's um following her heart, she is going to need in order. Let me see. Yeah, I think I made a little mistake, but in Dorothy's to following her heart, she is going to need the courage and bravery housed in her higher self. Did I type this twice? No, I didn't. In Dorothy's to following her heart, she is going to need the courage and bravery housed in her higher self that she never knew she had in the first place. This is why the Almighty Lion has been reduced to a shell of himself, his lower self, and is looking for the courage he never knew he already had. So it's a lot of symbolism. It's my favorite slide right here out of all of them. I'm glad I found this meme right here. Hold on, like I said, every slide I got to take a little quick break, real quick, y'all. I'm kind of multitasking, doing like two things at once right now. But I'm trying to. I'd rather do both of them at the same time because I don't want to do one thing and then do one thing. I'd rather just get both done at the same time. But either way I go, man, I hope y'all enjoying this presentation, man. And this metaphysical breakdown of the Wizard of Oz is just the tip of the iceberg. You feel me? On my everything I love. I'm finna do one on the Matrix. I'm finna do one on They Live. I'm finna do one on what's the other one? Avatar and Wally. You feel me? And I'm gonna give y'all the source so y'all can go get it yourself and go read it yourself. But I'm finna share it though. You feel me? I'm finna share it though, and I'm finna add the pictures and stuff. Then I'm finna get on here and share it with y'all. Check this out, right? Ultimately, Dorothy makes it to Oz, right? Her higher self, and is met with the, I guess, stem, all powerful and menacing figure named the Wizard of Oz. Oops. Hold on, let me move my mic real quick. Chilling. I hope my mic didn't pick that up. Oh snap, my bad, yo. My bad. I know that my apologies. I didn't have my thing muted, but I'm streaming on two platforms right now. But let's keep it pushing. So I'm gonna read it again. Ultimately, Dorothy makes it to Oz, her higher self, and is met with the, nah, it's another typo, or an all-powerful and menacing figure named the Wizards of Oz. And that might be a typo as well. It is her dog Toto, or the god Ampu, that literally pulls the curtain back to reveal um, the all-knowing, all-powerful wizard is just a feeble old white man using smoke and mirrors to perpetuate the myth of his strength and power. The system that enslaved her was really only a facade of illusions that really had no power. Look at my nigga Toto, man. Look at my nigga Toto. You feel me? Look, I said, this is Toto. He did not ignore the man behind the screen. He pulled back the curtain. Be like Toto. Straight up. The only power the system had was duping Dorothy into believing she needed it in the first place. Dorothy finally realizes that she had everything she needed within herself and voluntarily gave her power to a system that always meant to enslave her and keep her from her higher self. Period. Now we reached the final slide, but I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna share some more stuff with y'all because I rocks with y'all and y'all rocks with me, so it's all good. So now it's finally revealed to Dorothy that she had the ability to go home anytime she wanted to. This reveals that Dorothy finally transcended into her higher self, which was kept from her by a system that had enslaved her since birth. Reaching her higher spiritual self is the key to freedom, and the only way to achieve that is overcoming your ego, fears, and insecurities, and follow your heart. And I put that picture on the bottom. It's like symbolic to like her unlocking, you know, or reaching her higher spiritual self. And my pardon me for some of the profanity. I try not to use profanity on my live stream, so my apologies. But yeah, let me see. So let me check my phone real quick. All right, we good. Make sure my thing decent. So now, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I may have to change the title. Oh no. Matter of fact, actually no, I don't. Let me stop sharing though, because I don't want to show all my slides like that. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to wait. You know what I'm saying? I can't show too much now. Oh, I know what I could. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show some. I'm gonna show a couple. One, two, three, four. I'm gonna show the. I'm gonna break down some of the symbols too, real quick, and then I'm gonna hold on. 1 second. Yeah, I gotta. Damn, that's gonna take me a minute to do that, but it's all good. All right, all right. I'm gonna start right here. I'll come back on. Hold on. All right, here we go. Cause I'm gonna get into the characters of the movie. Just by just by understanding the meanings of names, one can decipher the plot and theme of the movie before it has even started. Everything in Hollywood is calculated and deliberate. There's no prop, excuse me, there's no prop, symbol, name, or image left to chance. Name, prop, symbol, or image that is in the film is there because it serves a specific purpose. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Even a hotel door, it could be room 303. It means something. When a car drive past on a certain scene and look at them license plates, do the the numerology. You better do it. This is gonna give you a hint of what's finna come. And I'm gonna give you an example. Hopefully I can find it. If I can find, if I'm gonna look up the picture and I'm gonna copy and paste it and I'm gonna put it on one of these slides so I can give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about. But it say Hollywood is calculating and cunning. Its practices and methods are damn typo like crazy. Their methods are damn. They use a method and it's precise. Leave my typos alone. They are masters and geniuses at the science they implement into the film industry. They create the illusion of chance to keep this knowledge hidden. There are no coincidences in Hollywood. We will break down the meanings behind the main characters' names in the movie. So embrace and internalize their meanings when one views the DVD, and one will be enlightened to a deeper understanding of what is being played out. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Now we got to start with Neo. You feel me? We got to start with Neo. Now, this character represents the higher self in man. Man's higher self repres Man's higher self represents a man who views and defines himself in his reality through his spiritual self. There there is a man who has mastered his lower self. Man's lower self is defined by his physical desires and urges. If a man acts like an animal responding to and being enslaved by his lower nature, he could not reach his higher spiritual nature. Another type. See, I be tired, man. I'm telling you, I be doing this, man. I'm tired. I be tired. All these typos. Spiritual nature. Man's higher self is not limited to the rules and physics of our seeing reality. So many typos. It's a damn shame. He is operating at his highest consciousness where it's not mandated to follow the rules of the lower physical dimension. Neo is allowed to make up his own rules in his own reality as he sees fit. Man has been given free will to define himself in his reality as he pleases. Neo, meaning new, defines the resurrection of man's higher self by the death or triumph of his lower physical self. Thus, he is considered born again or has a new life. This is the new beginning by seeing life and defining reality for the first time through the lenses of his higher spiritual consciousness. And that's Neo. Now we finna get into Thomas Anderson. Now, if anybody knows, Thomas Anderson is, Neo or his twin. You feel me? In this trip, Thomas, that's crazy. Thomas means twin. Damn, that's crazy. Thomas means twin. Neo's real name is Thomas because every man has a twin. Every man has a higher self as well as a lower self. Man has to free, excuse me, man has the free will to define himself by his higher or lower physical self. Andrew means from or of a man. This name represents Neo's lower self, which is defined by his physical body. Neo's higher self is defined by his spiritual body. Andrew was the first apostle to follow Jesus. Jesus can be represented as higher consciousness in the occult world. Neo was the first to transcend into his higher spiritual consciousness. It was also said that Andrew was crucified on a cross in the shape of an X. Now keep that X in mind. Now, wish I had the picture. No, I know. I think I do got it. The X in the occult world represents resurrection. Resurrection can be defined as the putting to death of one's lower self and the rebirth of one's higher self. This is the only way to achieve higher consciousness. Now we gotta go to Morpheus. Gotta go to Morpheus. Let me check my thing real quick. Hold on. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Alright, I'll check it out. Tart Bridge Groom. What's up with it? I see you. Thank you. I'll check it out. I don't really want to pay for no viewers though, but I mean I'll check it out though. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it pushing. Now Morpheus. Morpheus meaning shape. It refers to the shapes seen in dreams. In Greek mythology, Morpheus was the god of dreams. A deeper understanding of this character is that he represents the chemical melanin. Melanin is secreted by the pineal gland at night when we fall asleep. Melanin is needed in order to reach higher consciousness or the spiritual dimension. In order for Neo to reach his higher self, he must activate his melanin. This is why this character is vital towards Neo's transformation. Melanin is the key to transcending into higher consciousness. Without it, one cannot attain this level of consciousness. This is why Morpheus is the one that shows Neo the Matrix, as well as believes unequivocally that he is the one. When the physical dimension has its doubts and uncertainties, understand with the activation of one's melanin, one can create miracles and break the prison in the rules of the physical dimension. Let's go to Trinity. Yeah, let me see. Damn, I think I overdid it. I'm gonna try to fight through these slides, y'all. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Now, Trinity. She Trinity gives homage to the ancient Kemetic belief of the three principles of life. They are masculine energy represented by the father or the god Asar, the feminine principle energy represented by the mother or goddess Aset, and the result of the union between the two energies represented by the son or god Heru. These three deities represent the building blocks of not only the life but the universe as a whole. They represents God's perfection in They represents God's perfection in the physical dimension. Without these three principles, life cannot happen. These three laws must be acknowledged and be present in order to manifest life from the spiritual dimension to the physical world. The knowledge and mastery of these three principles of universal law is mandatory in order for Neo, who represents man, to transcend to higher consciousness. Neo needs Trinity in order to transcend into his higher self or consciousness. Without the knowledge of the Trinity, Neo cannot have succeeded in this undertaking. The Trinity of God's law of perfection must be mastered. See, I be tired, man. I be missing some words sometimes. And implemented as a blueprint to raise one's consciousness. And that's the well, nah, that's not really the X I was looking for. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all see it when people be doing that X. And no, it's not evil. I don't care what nobody say. The people that use it, they got their own interpretation. We got our own interpretation. Period. Now this is the Oracle. Y'all know who she is. Shout out to the Oracle. This character represents God's insight, intuition, and knowledge. This first concept of God in Africa, which spread around the world, was God as a black woman. This is why the Oracle is represented by a black woman. She is the epitome of higher spiritual consciousness and awareness. The black woman represents the quintessential knowledge of God. She is the one closest to the Creator, and that's true. I don't care what nobody say. So it makes sense that she has the best form of communication in the spiritual realm. And if y'all see, remember that scene. If y'all remember that scene that she did, you will see. If y'all remember that, I remember. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to repeat it verbatim, but she was dropping some wisdom. Remember in that other scene when she was sitting on the bench with Neo, even that little boy that bent the spoon was dropping some gems. Now here's Switch. All right, here's Switch. Watch this. Part one. Look at it. Let me see. Hold on. The name of this character represents the anomaly of homosexuality. Although this character is a woman, she displays characteristics of a man. This character has switched genders. In ancient Kemet, homosexuality went against universal law. Masculine or positive energy gives out energy. Feminine or negative energy receives energy. This is why opposites attract and likes repel. All substances in the universe must adhere to this law, from the largest galaxy to the smallest subatomic particle. To go against this universal law was to go against nature. In Kemet, nature and God meant the same thing. Facts. Switch is the only one that wears white clothing. She wears different sunglasses from the rest. She is the she is the only one with blonde hair. These attributes led me to believe that the characters Switch represent the Caucasian. And we know that come from ancient Greeks. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not being mean. I'm not trying to be no hate speech. I'm not homophobic. Let me get my disclaimer. But it's the truth. And if I gotta pull out some statues and some cups from ancient Greece, I'll do it. But it is not. This ain't no attack. This just the interpretation of that character. So like homosexuality, the Caucasian goes against the laws of nature. Switch represents this character trait. She does not fit in. Thus, she disrupts the natural order of things. She can be said. She can be said of the Caucasian when they have come in contact with the darker peoples of the world. Check your history books. Period. Now let's keep it pushing. Now this Dozer, peep game, Dozer, Dozer. That's the actual character on the movie. And if anybody that be studying Kemet, what that name sound like? Dozer, 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 Joser, however you say it, Djoser. You feel me? Peep game. And I agree. I believe this character is in reference to the Kemetic black pharaoh named Dozier. In Kemet, the pharaoh was considered to be a god in human form. Dozier was also known as Necher Nechereket, meaning body of the gods. This is a clue into the insight of the true knowledge of God being contained in the body of the black man. Dozier commissioned the first multiple genius named Imhotep to build him the first step pyramid. Now we got to go to Agent Smith. This jive turkey. Oh, I forgot I can't say some stuff on here because I said that on TikTok and they clipped. He banned my comment. But yeah, man, appreciate you, man. If you still here, man, appreciate your comment, man. I definitely will, you know, 'cause I know it's ways to like, promote your page and stuff and get more people to see it. So I'll check it out. Cause you gotta spend money to make money. You know what I'm saying? You gotta invest. You know what I'm saying? You gotta invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you though, and I appreciate you even saying remove the space. But I'll check it out though. I'll definitely check that out though. I see your comment. I ain't forgot about you. All right, now let's talk about Agent Smith. Now, peep game. From the English surname meaning blacksmith, to smite or to hit. The definition of his character states it all. This character is Neo's arch nemesis. For true transformation to occur, one must be faced with adversity and struggle. One must challenge themselves physically, mentally, and spiritually in order to achieve higher consciousness. Agent Smith provides this adversity for Neo. In that sense, this character enhances Neo's ability to transcend. Without him, Neo will never fully understand and appreciate his higher self. Agent Smith provides the litmus test or threshold Neo must master in order to achieve higher consciousness. See? And then goes Cypher. That's the one that was eating that raw. I don't know if he was eating a raw steak. I don't know what he was eating. But he said something. I forgot what he said. But Cypher, keep that word in mind. Cypher. I ain't talking about no rap Cypher. And I'm gonna give you another example of metaphysics and why it's important to pay attention to certain things. One, he's eating a red bloody steak. Red, boom. He's lifting it with his right hand, which is activated by the left hemisphere of his brain, which symbolically it represents your lower self, or basically only dealing with the five physical senses. You know what I mean. I don't want to get too deep into that, but like as an example, that scene means something too. But it says short cipher, right? Short for Lucifer. This is another name for Satan or the devil. In the occult world, man has the ability to define himself through God consciousness, symbolized by heaven, or man's lower self, symbolized by the devil or hell. In hell, heaven and hell represents man's state of consciousness or state of mind, and not a geographical location. This character represents the lower self in man. He is driven by greed, selfishness, fame, wealth, material things, and notoriety. He is motivated by and defines his reality through his ego. All these character traits represents man's lower consciousness. He defines his reality by his physical self in the physical dimension. This character represents the potential all men have to fall into a lower state of consciousness. Cypher represents the worst in all of us, basically. Period. And it's what's his name? APOC. Let me see. Hold on. Did I do this right? It says apocalyptic eschatology is marked by the conviction that God will intervene decisively in the present evil age and vindicate his suffering elect over their oppressors, raising the dead, co-signing the wicked to eternal destruction, and establishing a new creation. So his name, APOC or APOC, y'all know what's up. And I'm still working on this. I just want to give y'all a little sneak peek. Damn, mouse tripping. Mouse, right? It says this represents the Europeans' contribution to the universal knowledge of humanity through history. This character is puny in size and needs to be looked out for. He is like a child. He looks sickly. His two claims to claims of fame in the movie are creating a food concoction that is a synthetic version of the original, and also designing a computer program that taps into man's lower consciousness. So Mouse not being the original or black man represents the white value system and contribution to the world. His culture goes against nature and tries to conquer it. He is represented by synthetic materials that pollute the earth. And I remember that scene too. That scene was nasty, bro. I remember when they was eating that. The European also designed a culture of society, or a society that appeals to man's lower self instead of trying to raise man's consciousness. The European has mastered and built an ego-driven society and uses man's lower consciousness as a means of control and manipulation. When compared to the African, who claimed himself a god on earth and had the greatest civilization known to man, the white man's contribution looks more like a mouse than a man. See? I see what I see. I see. You see what I mean? When they contributed to the universal knowledge of humanity, like instead of making things natural, they like will make like GMO foods, GMO apples, GMO oranges. You know what I'm saying? Not to throw no shade, but it's true. I mean, we just keeping it a bean. So now I think we got a few more, and I'm at. Damn, I didn't overdid it, but it's all good. I'm gonna push through. Hope I say this right. Nebuchadnezzar, however you say it. Now this is the name of Morpheus' ship. In the Bible, Nebuchadnezzar was the king who tried to force three captives into worshiping his religion and forgetting their own. When the three refused to worship the king's idol, they were thrown into a fiery furnace to be burnt alive. The three men were protected by their God while in the furnace and escaped unharmed. This story is directly related to the mindset one has to have in order to achieve higher consciousness. An individual has to walk out on faith in the midst of a hostile environment in order to manifest miracles. One must not be detoured by self-doubt, fear, pain, or ridicule if one wants to achieve higher consciousness. I agree. One, two, three. Damn, I got to push through because all this it's some powerful stuff. So now, the fact that Morpheus and his crew all took the red pill to reach higher consciousness signifies they all they all took that leap of faith and overcame their fears for what they believed in. And when we say leap of faith, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was this scene, but if you see how they grabbed each other's arm, it's just pay attention to how they grab their arm and what arm that they grab, or you know what I mean. You'll see. Cause I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do something on it later down the line. But in the end, their faith was rewarded. This is the only way one can achieve higher consciousness. One must overcome their fears, ego, and persecution for what they know is right. There's no other way to achieve higher consciousness. See? Now here's Tank right here. So I can put this up a little more, make it a little bigger. This character represents the potential and underappreciation of the black man. The name Tank can be referred to as a military weapon with strong armor. We know the physical prowess of the black man to be the most elite athlete amongst all the races. He is a physical specimen that has no equal. For all the abuse he has taken throughout history, no other race would have been able to function, let alone survive. This is irrefutable. Also, Tank could be diffused as a vessel from which to carry pertinent or valuable cargo, information, or substance, such as a water tank. In the black man's body, mind, excuse me, in the black man's body, mind, and soul is the key to higher consciousness. He has yet discovered his true potential, and I got to put discovered. Let me see. Hold on. All right. This character is one who saves Neo from Cypher when he is about to unplug him. I remember that part. He is also responsible for finding the way out of all the Matrix characters when they are in the Matrix. Tang is also the main pilot for the Nebuchadnezzar. Have you said? He is its navigator as well as its mechanic. Tank is the underappreciated character in the movie who holds everything together, just like the black man in today's society. Without him, everything falls apart. Now, two more slides, y'all. And I gotta go. I'm gonna do another one another time. As a matter of fact, I might stream like a game or something. I might get on 2K or something. I gotta take a break after this. But these two next slides, I need to really peep game though. Pay attention. The sunglasses. That's I haven't. It's only one person that I heard give this interpretation of the sunglasses, and that's the author of this book that I'm finna share with y'all. The sunglasses the characters wear in the Matrix symbolize the activation of the pineal gland, which produces the chemical melanin. In Kemet, the activation of the pineal gland was called the first eye. Melanin is also known for its black pigment. Thus, we have black sunglasses representing the higher consciousness or the activation of the pineal gland of the characters that wear them in the Matrix. You feel me? So, and then also look, even the telephone. And if you when y'all watch the movie, pay attention. When they pick it up with their left hand, it means something. Whether people believe it or not, or they don't look into. If y'all don't look into it that deep, that's cool. But for the ones that do, y'all know what time it is. Or what it's symbolic to. One will notice that all the telephones are black in the movie. This is because the phone represents the intuition or internal voice inside the character that is activated by the black chemical called melanin. Melanin is needed for one to reach higher consciousness. That's true. This is the only way the characters can exit or escape the matrix, which represents lower consciousness. The characters usually hold it up to their left ear, as you see. See? Let me read it again. The characters usually hold it up to their left ear, which symbolizes the activation of the right hemisphere of the brain, which represents higher consciousness. So the telephone is actually the individual listening and trusting their inner voice or intuition. This is what guides and leads them into higher consciousness. So I think I did pretty decent. You feel me? I went through that. I went through Hollywood. I went through the Wizard of Oz and the Matrix briefly. You know what I'm saying? I think I did decent. You know, I think I did pretty decent, man. But you know what I could do? Give me 1 second. Let me stop. You know what? I'm gonna leave it on here real quick. I'm gonna mute my mic though. Nah, never mind. I was gonna play this video, but I don't got time. But I'm gonna end it though, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here, man. Much love to all y'all, man. Hope the rest of y'all day is the best y'all day, man. You know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoy, man, hit that like button. Y'all can follow if y'all want to. Um, follow me on YouTube, man. Hey, Ruth Study Hall. And if you didn't catch this live, I'm gonna upload it on here and I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna send it to my YouTube and I'm gonna put it in my videos so y'all can go watch it from the beginning to the end. And just if y'all want to, if I would recommend put the speed up so it don't be as long. Increase the speed to where you can still understand it, but it'll go faster so it won't take so long. So with that being said, I love y'all, man. I'm out. Peace.